Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? We got Wednesday, what is this? January 17th, 18th, I don't know. No, I think it's the 17th. Looks like we're around 15 degrees, so this is a heat wave. You know, it's all relative. You know, when I was like, it's gonna warm up later this week, I know 15 degrees doesn't sound like too warm of a temperature, but compared to the temperatures we had earlier this week, it's not too bad. Hey, Paula, thanks for tuning in. Hello. Yeah, we'll let the lunch bunch start to gather here. I'm going to be staring into the sun, but we're going to take advantage of this bright, clear sunshine on a winter's day here, and I'm just going to walk south on Michigan Avenue. We're going to head straight south on Michigan Avenue as far as I can get in a half an hour. So we got 12:04. So once we get at least till 12:35 Chicago Central Time, we're in Chicago here, Michigan Avenue, heading south. We'll see if we can make it to Roosevelt and see some of the new development down there. The 1000 M's topped out. There's some pigeons. All the pigeons are eating the snow. And then I'll turn around and head back through Grant Park or something. So yeah, we'll see some nice, beautiful architecture along Michigan Avenue street wall there. And we'll let people slowly gather. We did the pedway this morning. Many people ask about the pedway. It's hard for me to document that the way I want to because I lose my stream both on YouTube and TikTok. I've tried it on multiple platforms because it's underneath the street level. It's not underground, but it's under the concrete, and you go through buildings and stuff. Sometimes the cell reception isn't ideal. May, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Chicago. We're above 15 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that, like -10 centigrade? And this is the warmest it's been since Sunday, or no, actually since Saturday. So it's a heat wave. We're not above freezing, but we're above 0 Fahrenheit. I know, the rest of the world smartly uses the metric system, centigrade, Celsius. Us American weirdos, we still use the Fahrenheit system. We should use Kelvin. We should use Kelvin above absolute 0. That'll really confuse people. But I'll buzz by the Bean Millennium Park really quickly. We show this all the time, so I'm gonna head south past the Art Institute. We'll see how my streaming holds out here. We'll see if anybody else tunes in. I might have alienated the rest of our audience here because it's been so cold and people are seeing me just walk in circles here. But thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. We'll post this rerun either way to YouTube, because most people just watch the usually several hundred people, even though we usually only get 50 or 60 in the live stream chat at any one time here on YouTube. Hundreds of people seem to find it on YouTube because people are working, people are in different time zones. People will check out the reruns, and that's the way most people consume this. So I appreciate the live audience though. Chris, how's it going? Cole, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we're above 15 degrees, right? People are back ice skating. So look, all week the ice skating rink was closed. Here, we'll head over here, and I don't know what the guys wants to say something. That's great. And he's selling some souvenirs there, so we'll go over to the ice skating rink. Ice skating rink has some snow on it, so let's check this out. So welcome to the Bean. We're gonna head down Michigan Avenue. I'm just gonna head down Michigan Avenue, try to make it down towards Roosevelt, the South Loop, and we'll see how far I can get in less than a half an hour here before I have to turn around. Oh, I took a tumble there. Yeah, that ice looks really slick. And it's even though it's 15 degrees, people are ice skating. We'll see if Liz Skate Chicago gets out here on her ice skates. She's usually on the roller skates here, but I saw City Walking Girl is walking right now, or she's on the green line. She's streaming on TikTok. So I don't, no offense if anybody wants to watch City Walking Girl, that's fine with me. You know, I know we share some of the same audience, which is fine. You can always watch the recordings of my YouTube, so you don't have to tune in live. Many people tune in to watch City Walking Girl when we're streaming the same time, which is fine with me. It's cool. That's the nature of it, and there's always so much content going on all the time. 15 degrees, I know. Paula, yeah, Lunch Bunch. It is a heat wave. Omaha is 22, so good. That's a good sign there, Lisa. I'm glad that Omaha is warmer than we are, which means that the warmer weather is coming our way. We made it through this mid-January deep freeze in North America, and hopefully the worst is over. And yeah, I got so bitterly cold. I mean, yeah, I can't believe we were -10 there on Monday in the morning, which we've had colder. You know, I know it was even worse in the... Somebody from Saskatchewan, Canada, messaged me. They said, "You think you're tough standing there -7 next to the river? We had -50 in Saskatchewan." I'm like, I know. I tell people that, you know, it's just a normal Chicago winter. I appreciate people's concern for my safety out there live streaming from the lake, but you dress in layers, you prepare for it, you can handle it. And that's what we're showing here. So, but hey, it's so nice to see people ice skating. We got bright, clear sunshine here. There's the bean. And yeah, now it calls the thaw. Yeah, now it'll get messy, thaw out, and then we'll get another snowstorm. It'll be another big mess. So welcome to winter, isn't it great? But we'll go by the, what is this? The Crown Fountain here. And that looks really slick. I think I'll stay up at that. We'll head back to Michigan Avenue, the Chicago Athletic Association hotel there. Look at that beautiful facade. It's so beautiful. If you go inside there, you go up to the second level. They got nice little fireplaces and inlaid wood. It's like modeled off the Palace of the Doge in Venice. And all this great architecture we have on the Michigan Avenue street wall. Hawaiian shirts and umbrella drinks. You got it right, Cole. Krista, Michael, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, thanks everybody for it's raining in California. Yeah, it doesn't get as cold. Yeah, you know, usually it warms up. Same here, you know. When it got so cold, we had clear skies. I mean, that's what, you know, like a desert, you know, it really drops down when you have no cloud cover. And usually when you got rain or cloud cover, it's a little warmer, at least this time of the year, California or Chicago. And Sharon, how's it going? Sorry if I missed anybody. I was looking at the ice skating there. Almost ran into a bike here. So let's see what they got going at the Art Institute. I can't believe, can you believe? For several years, I've been a dues-paying member of the Art Institute of Chicago. I'm seriously debating of letting my membership to the Art Institute of Chicago lapse because they won't let me live stream in there. And I know that's the policy. It's everybody, not just me. And I thought I could be like an educational service, show all these great paintings, and they won't let me live stream in there, whether I'm holding a gimbal or not. And I know I could record it and post it, but they, you know, it just angers me that, you know, I'm trying to just showcase the nice museum here and they won't let me live stream, but that's their policy. Policies are policies. The good news is I feel more reassured about streaming on the CTA trains now. You know why? Because the CTA, Chicago Transit Authority, has an official TikTok site, and I don't know if it is. You can't trust anything on TikTok. I don't know if it's really. It says the official CTA TikTok site. They followed me and they saw some of my videos that I posted from streaming on the L, and they liked them. And they said, you know, so hopefully the CTA is okay with me filming on the train. But the Art Institute's not, so I'm not renewing my membership. And we'll go there on free days. I do hold grudges. I'm a fallible human. I know they got rules, but I've been there enough. I've seen every nook and corner of that Art Institute. I've been a member for years. I can always renew my membership. I'll still be a member of the Peggy Notebart Nation Museum lets me film in there. I'll still film the lines and I'll still promote the museum. It's a great museum. It's just, if I'm any place, I want to be live streaming. I'll get my press pass. Maybe I could say I'm part of the press. I don't know. Another good development. Let's see here. Am I missing any? Dolores. Yeah, the Michigan wall, the street wall there. But no rain in Central Cali. 64. That's not bad. I'll tell you what. You know, isn't it amazing? You know, since I was walking in sub-zero temperatures, 15 degrees in the sun, it feels like a spring day here. Not much wind. That helps. Another good development is, I know a lot of people liked the Green Door Tavern video that I posted to TikTok. And people seem to be interested in the Green Door. It was a speakeasy there. And the Green Door Tavern, the owners of it, they saw that video and they said, hey, come back, we'll show you. And I should have went there. I didn't go down there the first time. They have a basement, the real speakeasy, the real basement bar that had a trap door or a secret door down to the basement, because you were like, how did that place survive during Prohibition? The bar wasn't out in front like it is now. It was in the basement, and it was a real speakeasy. There's bullet holes in some of the memorabilia down there that they had on the walls. They have an old Standard Oil winged Pegasus horse. You know, the classic vintage signage there from Standard Oil. And they have like old bottles in the bar down there. They got a little stage where they have little shows. And I think they, you know, hopefully if I set up with them later this week, they'll give me a tour of it. So there'll be another TikTok, hopefully later this week or soon, where I'll go to back to the Green Door Tavern and showcase the basement bar, the true speakeasy portion, historic. Goes back to 1921, the Prohibition era in Chicago, and I think people will be interested in that. So stay posted, stay tuned for that. All kinds of things. Yeah, the Green Door, it's a bar. The Green Door is a bar. I know some of you don't follow me on TikTok, which is fine. That's great. That doesn't bother me. I could lose my TikTok account at any moment anyway, so that's why the YouTube is better. But I could lose YouTube too. But we went to the Green Door Tavern. It's on Orleans in Chicago. It was a true Chicago speakeasy from the 1920s, and the true speakeasy bars in the basement. What I showed now is the upper bar, you know, which they've had since many years, probably ever since Prohibition was repealed. It has that shanty wood frame shack leaning on it. It's leaning in the back. Right here we'll cross Jackson Street. Welcome to Chicago. We got 15 degrees and sunshine. We're heading here on the edge of Grant Park. We're heading south Michigan Avenue. Here's the hot dog stand. We'll go past Roosevelt University, Chris's old alma mater there, and Columbia College, and all the great. We already passed. I think Robert Morris has some campus here. There's the National Louis University has some campus right there, or in this building here. Let's go check out this giant head. This giant head sculpture used to be in Lincoln Park, up by the Lincoln Park Conservatory. And if you know, I remind you, the City Walking Girl, she's walking right now, or she's on TikTok. So if you want to watch City Walking Girl, she was heading up the Green Line. I don't know where she's going. She was like around 35th there on the Green Line there on the south side. So that's great. She was on the live this morning when I was helping moderate and when I was in the Pedway, which is great. There, Sir George Solti, S-O-L-T-I. He's got a head there, this big head. This used to be in Lincoln Park up by where I live, and they moved it down here after I moved to Chicago. They did it about, I don't know, 15 years ago. They moved it down here. I don't know why. You can look him up, George Solti. And oh, the skyline's nice, isn't it nice? That's why we're out here checking out the look at that. Oh, the Art Deco period, yeah. Oh yeah, the Art Deco period, yeah. Into the Roaring 20s. It was such a shame because there were so many Art Deco buildings that were planned to be built in design, 1929, 1930. Only some of them got built, including the Rockefeller Center, the Empire State Building. got built in 1931. They finished it even though the Great Depression had already started. Same with the Crew Tower in Cincinnati. It got built. It has a half dome rotunda, and it was used as, you ever seen the Super Friends there, that old the League of Superheroes there, they modeled their superhero headquarters in that cartoon off of it. It's an Art Deco facade. It was built in 1933. The only reason they still had money to finish it, it was a government funded project, and they decided to do it, and almost by the time it opened, it was obsolete because the railroad stations all declined after World War II. World War II kept them going, and the bus lines killed all the railroads. We know about that. See who framed Roger Rabbit, and what happened to the interurbans there in Los Angeles. Here's the Van Buren Station here. I don't often show this. This is modeled after, have you ever been to Paris? The Art Nouveau Metro, the Metro there in Paris. They modeled the Metra, play on Metro. They one of these this one station, it goes to Van Buren. They modeled it after the Parisian metro stations there, and it's this Art Nouveau tarnished green there, but you know, it's the metal. It's interesting here. I'll show the front here if we can get around here, and you can go through there. There's a tunnel that goes through the station on the other side. Metra. There, let's head up here past the yeah, let's see if there's a road rage incident. We'll go viral here. Yeah, look at all these interesting detailed sculptural things they got there. I don't know what's going on. They're working over there. There's some construction noise going on. Yeah, the Native American Indian sculptures here on their horse, the bowmen and the spearmen, we show them sometimes. This is the great circle that aligns with Ida B. Wells, which used to be Congress, which aligns with the Buckingham Fountain. And you know, in the summertime we show the Buckingham Fountain. I could go over there now, but it'll be desolate. The fountain's turned off for the winter, and there's not much going on there in wintertime. But look at some of these. Roosevelt University to the left there, that's the auditorium building that was designed by Louis Sullivan and his partner Adler. When that was built, that was the largest building in Chicago, the tallest building in Chicago. Doesn't look that tall, but on the side there's a tower, and that's the side that's sinking. And then there's these other, they're like private clubs there on the right there. And there's some of the new development we were talking about. We'll see if we can get to it. We got 1221. So is the camera straight here? Ah, Paris, yeah. Yeah, Miami has some great Art Deco buildings. I just saw that, yeah. I agree. Go to West, what is that? Miami Beach, the Miami Beach area, that classic row of small scale Art Deco buildings there right along the park that leads to the beach there, Miami Beach. And in the city too. Because a lot of development happened in the 20s. Here, the train's going through the tunnel here. So yeah, look, right below us, there's a metro train pulling into Millennium Station. So we were in Millennium Station this morning. I said, oh, that's this trough that goes through Grant Park. The NICTE South Shore trains that go to Indiana go through this, and the University Park metro trains, the ones that go to Blue Island, and Southeast Chicago, South Chicago, go through here, and goes right through the Art Institute. There's the bowman and the spearman on the horses there, modeled after American Indians, indigenous people, and their horses there. And look at that, this is a great vista here. You get the haunted Congress Hotel. Everybody talks about the haunted Congress Hotel. Roosevelt University, the auditorium building. There you can clearly see the tower, 18 stories. They were going to build it 16. The developer, Peck, it was his name, got Louis Sullivan and Adler he convinced them to add 2 stories to it. They said, we shouldn't do this. These are load-bearing walls. And sure enough, they added too much weight, and this side of the building started to sink. And if you go into the entrance of the auditorium on that side, I show that where the steps are sinking on that side. So we got the light here. We'll cross. This is Ida B. Wells here in Chicago. The Buckingham Fountain's that way. Look, we can see the Buckingham Fountain. So if I get over this little rise in the street here, you see the Buckingham Fountain. Make sure I'm not getting hit by a car here. And you can see Lake Michigan. Here, let me take the glove off so I can zoom in here. Hold on, drop the glove here. There we go. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Hold on a second here. Let me get the camera straight. This is always a challenge here, getting the camera the way I want it here. So hold on a second here. Let me make sure I don't hit the mute here. Yeah, the red building. That used to be the CNA building, the red building, and then now it's Northern Trust because the Bank of the Northern Trust took it over, all the names of the building. But there's the Buckingham Fountain, Lake Michigan behind there. We're looking straight down Ida B. Wells here, and to make sure I don't hit the mute here. But yeah, here's the red building. The red building, there it is, Northern Trust. It used to be CNA. And you see next to it the blue building, that's housing for Roosevelt University. And then you can see the Sears Tower behind there. The Sears Tower is the tallest. Of course, you can see all the way up to the Trump Tower on the right, the Smurfit Stone building, the Diamond building way to the far right, and all the way to the left, Congress Hotel, and the Sears Tower behind the auditorium building. There's the Congress Hotel. There's the Spiritus Center, nice museum there, and then there's the Blackstone Hotel and the Hilton. So it looks really slippery that way, so we'll stay on the cleared sidewalk. Let me put my glove back on. Thanks for tuning. There's the Congress Hotel. Look how large the Congress Hotel is. It's actually, you know, two buildings connected there. Yeah, the red building. The auditorium. Craig, thanks, Chris. Thanks for the good information. Yeah, the auditorium building was the first multi-use convention center building of its kind. It was the largest building ever attempted in Chicago up until that time. And yeah, it combined to finance it. So they wanted an auditorium for the common man. It wasn't going to have boxes for like rich people or aristocrats. It was all the seats were equal, and the acoustics are great in it. And to finance it, they added a hotel and an office portion that surrounded it. So it was the hotel and the office space was to finance the auditorium building, and it was mixed use. They used it as a convention center because of the hotel, and now they use it as Roosevelt University. It actually sat vacant. They didn't know what they were going to do with it, and then Roosevelt University got the space, and that saved the building and saved the auditorium too. There's Columbia College. Columbia College has many buildings all throughout the South Loop. We talk about. They got many great murals all throughout this area. Maybe we'll head up Wabash. Maybe we'll head back Wabash because the park's pretty sparse here. But look, here's the extension of the Michigan Avenue street wall looking south towards the South Loop, and you know, the Blackstone Hotel. If you ever heard, you know, the 1968 Democratic Convention, the police riot between the hippies and people protesting the Vietnam War at that time, and they were protesting the Democratic Party because LBJ was still president at that time, even though he wasn't running for re-election. That's where that giant melee happened. The whole world's watching. I don't know if people remember that, and I hope it doesn't get repeated. We're having the Democratic convention here this year. The Republican convention's, of course, in Milwaukee, just 90 miles north of us. So it's going to be an interesting year, but I'm still looking forward to it with trepidation because we'll see what happens. But hey, let's check out. Let's see. We'll walk through this little. What time we got here? 12:27. So we haven't made it till 12:35 yet. Let's see. You went to Columbia College back in the day. Thanks, Sharon. That's great. See, there's your old Michael, Tara. Tara, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Tara, I know City Walking Girl. She's streaming right now. So if you want to watch City Walking Girl, that's fine with me. You can always watch the reruns. You watch so much as it is, and I appreciate that. You were on this morning when we were in the Pedway. So was Chris and other people, Michael. Here's the, look at, what is this? I got to find out what this statue is. See, it probably goes back to the World's Columbian Exposition or something. Does anybody know what this statue is? Theodore Let's see what it says here. Theodore Thomas. It says Theodore Thomas. That's not Theodore Thomas. That's some idealized Greek goddess or something. Here's Theodore Thomas. The sun's blinding me here. Okay, here we go. Scarcely any man in any land has done so much for the musical education of the people as did Theodore Thomas. Why'd they run it together? It's so hard to read. And this is country. The nobility of his deal with the magnitude of his achievement will assure him everlasting glory. 1835-1905. Has anybody heard of Theodore Thomas? He's got a nice monument to him. I guess he contributed to he was probably a philanthropist that contributed to the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Erected to the trustees of the... Why do they write it like that? Alban Polsky sculptor, 1923. Erected by the trustees of the BFFERCVSON monument. What is it? Where's the plaque? Does anybody know what this is? The Spirit of Music. Theodore, there you go. Thanks, Kurt. An outdoor 1923 sculpture monument containing the founder of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Kurt Lynn. Thanks for the good information. Thanks for looking it up. And I appreciate my good, smart Lunch Bunch listeners. You know, the look it up. Look it up. We got the power of the internet. I got the second phone. Sometimes I have to look it up. And there it is. So, thanks, the founder of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, Theodore Thomas. I bet you this has something to do with it too, because look, there's a Native American playing the flute. They got bears on this. You see, we're in this, we're in Grant Park here. It's very slippery here. I got some steps here, and let's see if we can get in the shadow here. Yeah, this is part of this monument. It's the female music form there. She's playing a harp, and yeah, they got some Greek and Roman like harpists there. And it's interesting they put Native Americans on it too. So there's the Spiritus Museum. It's a Jewish museum, Jewish culture and heritage. And hopefully I'm saying that right. There's the Blackstone Hotel. Maybe we'll try to go inside the Spiritus Museum sometime. I haven't tried it out. We have gone inside the Hilton, the big giant Hilton. This was the largest hotel in the world when it was built. But I guess the ones in Las Vegas are much bigger now, or Macau, or some gambling place has a bigger hotel, I'm sure. Here, we'll cross the street here, get behind this bus, and we'll head a little further south. We got 4 more minutes here. There's the Merle Reskin Theater. We went by that. That's the DePaul University runs that. Thanks for that good information, Kurt. I appreciate it. Yeah, isn't that nice? German American died in 1805. Thanks. Learn from the Lunch Bunch. See, we learn from each other. My brain leaks. It's impossible for me to know everything. I know I was mildly amused. I angered a person that was putting Trump 2024 slogans on my reruns, and they were like, all you do is talk. You just talk all the time. So I just blocked them. There's no way I'm going to win that person over. That person is not going to like me no matter what I do. So the best thing, I used to try to like, oh, give me a second chance. I'll be neutral. No, you can't. You know, it's just, you know, I posted a TikTok of like the L, and they just started talking about Trump. And, you know, if that's what they want to do, Trump, people are just ate up with politics. I get it. You know, it's like no matter, everything's filtered through politics. Welcome to America. I know May, and we talked to Demishi. He's like, what's up with America? Why is everybody just consumed with politics? You know, and it's because, I don't know. It's like people, you can understand, we are the views of our listeners spread the gamut. There's people from the left and the right that tune in. We have to find some way to find some common ground so we can have some civil discourse without resorting to name calling, just like filming a fountain. You know, I'll be filming a fountain and somebody will say, Trump 2024. I'm like, well, what's that have to do with this fountain? You know, is Trump going to make this fountain great again? I guess he is. He'll turn it back on. He'll put a plaque on it. Look what Trump did. He turned the fountain back on. Look at, yeah, this is, we were down here when Lollapalooza was going on. I was trying to film Lollapalooza, and it was really hard because the cell phone coverage was... Here, let me walk up this hill, and then we'll turn around and we'll start heading back. I don't know if I'll be able to make it to the top of the hill. The snow's pretty slick. Yeah, I tried it. I just learned I can't even be myself on any of these platforms because, you know, people will tune in. They don't understand where I'm coming from. They assume, you know, I'm a left-wing commie socialist because I live in Chicago. No, there's conservatives that live in Chicago. There's many more liberals that live in Chicago, of course. That's why would a conservative choose to live in this city with all our... This is the new one. This is the 1000M. We watched that go up all last year. It topped out. We'll go up. There's a Civil War monument to a Union general. We got many monuments to Civil War veterans for the Union because we're in Chicago. And there was a Confederate cemetery down by the Douglas statue where they warehoused Confederate prisoners for a while. And look at that. Look at that beautiful Michigan Avenue street wall from Grant Park here. There's the Essex Inn. Ebony and Jet used to have their magazine logos on the top of that building. If you remember Ebony and Jet magazine, there's the Essex Inn. We're in the South Loop of Chicago here. And let's see if I don't know if I should head up this hill because I might lose my footing and I'll slide down. But here's this, and then of course there's at a convention here, and they were sitting on the statue with Vietnam flags and stuff, which so shocked the establishment that the youth were taking the side of the South Vietnamese when we were fighting a war against them. But hey, look at this. We'll go up to the hill here and then we'll see what the view's like here. I'm gonna have a hard, well, I think there's a way for me to walk down in the front here, so maybe I should leave the way I should have entered here. But here, born in Illinois, February, died. We'll get the name of this guy. I should know it off the top of my head. It's got some of the battles they were in. Fort Donelson, Belmont. Here, hold on, I'm going around here and get you the name of this. Major General John A. Logan. This is Major General John A. Logan, a Union Major General, along with like Sherman and Custer and Grant in the American Civil War, fought on the North, and that's why we got a monument to him. And the only monuments we want to tear down is to the losing side. The Confederates lost the war, so why should we have monuments to military? Why should we name military bases after generals that lost a war? You know, all the military bases that were recently renamed. I know that drives people nuts. They associate it with political correctness and wokeness. I remember when I first started going to military bases for site visits for certain projects we had to work on, there would be I'm not joking, we would go to a southern military base and there would be a Nathan Bedford Forrest Street where African Americans enlisted in the U.S. military would have an address. I live on Nathan Bedford Forrest Street, fought for the Confederacy, you know, and they had all these military bases named after Confederate, because the Southern senators, after Reconstruction, they controlled the appropriations for funding of the military bases, and they said, oh, we're going to name it after the lost cause. Isn't that amazing? So everything's political. Even me just talking about this is political. But, you know, you film trust me, if I was on TikTok, I would film that statue. Someone would be like, that statue should be tore down. I would film a statue of Abraham Lincoln. Someone would say, tear that down. I'm like, they thought they were being funny. They said, they thought it was a joke. When I filmed the Abraham Lincoln statue there in Lincoln Park, they said, how many slaves did Abraham Lincoln own? I said, well, how many slaves did Abraham Lincoln free? And then they said like Trump 2024 or something. And I'm like, okay, I can't argue with stupid. You know, again, I feel like some of the social media, thanks for the Cole and other people for research and giving us facts. You know, we try to give them facts. People don't want the facts. People don't want the truth. A lie will go a lot further. The big lie will always go a lot further than the truth. Because if people want to believe the big lie, it becomes the truth. The truth is... Oh, the wind. Oh, the wind. Thanks for bearing with the wind here. So, even though it's 15 degrees, it's still pretty cold. So it's just, I got to get past the Michigan Avenue street wall. It connects a lot of wind. So good. Once we made it through the little narrow buildings, there's some of the murals there for Columbia College. I know I'm missing comments here. Yeah, the victors goes to the spoil. I know. Usually the victors are able to control the narrative of history. But welcome to America, where it's the myths we want to tell about ourselves. You know, that's why I try to interject little tidbits of history that were glossed over. So easy to, and there's many versions of history, you know. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks for the good info there. And that's why his name should not have be honored on any current U.S. military institution. I'm glad they changed that name. And he was also associated with the founding of the domestic terrorist organizations, the K period. I got to be careful. You never know how the algorithms, they'll think I'm promoting it when I'm actually doing the complete opposite, showing how horrible that exists in any form, at any time. But welcome to America, the long history of America. We got to talk about it, because we can't act like none of this stuff didn't happen, and we don't want to fight a second civil war off of people not understanding history, trying to lie to the people. Look at this. Is this Louis Sullivan? 815. I got to see if there's a plaque on this. Hold on a second here. Look at this ornamentation on this building here. It's called the Flats at East West University. 819 Wabash. I will research this. Does anybody know anything about 819? The wind's really blowing here, so I can't. It's hard for me to stay here and talk, because we're on a winter day here, and even though the weather was so nice and cold here, but look at this beautiful ornamentation. It reminds me of Louis Sullivan. I got to double check to make sure I don't see any plaque on it. This is a commercial building. And Louis Sullivan does have buildings on the Michigan Avenue street wall. And, yeah, isn't that interesting? The Crusades, isn't that interesting? Yeah, you're right. The Crusades, from the Persian side, is completely different than we learned the European Christian side. If you talk to the Persian Muslim side, who were the invaders? You know, what were we doing there? You know, and same with colonization. The perspective of colonization, American history is completely different as if you look at it from the perspective of the indigenous people. Native American history is American history too. That's why I talk about the Potawatomi. I talk about African American history. I try to interject it when we'll go by Buddy Guy's Legends, the history of blues music. We talk about Harold Washington. Look at the L. Look at the L. Look at the L making the turn there. They softened that curve. That used to be a sharp curve there, but there's one train's going one way. It's going north in the loop. One was going south, probably either orange or a green line. City Walking Girl was just on one of those trains. She was heading up on the green line from the Bronzeville area, heading up into the loop. So we might cross paths with City Walking Girl, just walking around here. Thanks for tuning in here. So here, make sure I don't hit the mute here. Am I zoomed all the way out? Good, there we go. Yeah, it's okay, Chris. No, we'll look it up. We'll look it up. That's why I mentioned the address. There's the L going by there. So that was the same train we saw. It's going by the housing there. It's in an alley in between. We're on Wabash down by Balboa, and it's in between State and Wabash there, the L. There's a high school over there on State Street. We filmed it before. There's Buddy Guy's Legends. Buddy Guy's still he was touring last year. I don't know what he's doing this year. And you can see the Freemason symbol there on top of Buddy Guy's Legends. I think that used to be the Hot House, and now it's Buddy Guy's Legends. Live Blues here, Wabash and Balboa in Chicago. We're behind the Hilton. They got these murals here. The Loftrium. Okay, good. Yeah, we need a windsock. I need shelter for the wind. There's the Merle Reskin Theater, the DePaul University Theater. I haven't been inside that. Chris, have you ever been inside the Merle Reskin Theater? I'm glad they saved it. There was another theater down here in the South Loop that we lost. They used it for conventions and stuff. I think it stayed until the late 60s, early 70s. Like the Doors and Jimi Hendrix played there, but they tore it down. It was like an old theater in the South Loop, but they let it run way down, just like the Uptown Theater, and we lost it. And I don't know the name of it. Here's some of the murals from Columbia College. They got murals all over the sides of their buildings, which is great. Votes for Women, the 19th Amendment, and Harold's Chicken. There's Harold's Chicken. There's Harold's Chickens all throughout, mainly the south side of Chicago, but there's one there in the Loop. I think there's a Harold's Chicken on the West Loop too. And they're always representing the taste of Chicago. We see the salt on the sidewalk here. Elena, how's it going? Oh yeah, that's great. I know you know a lot about Louis Sullivan, Chris, and that's why I enjoy talking about it with you. And when it's too much to know. You know, even like you did a research on it. The more you find out, the more there is to find out. And I'm the same way. And that's why doing this forces me to, look stuff up. People ask me questions I don't know the answer to. I said, well, let's look it up, and that's how we learn. All of us, including me. I don't know everything. There's a lot of stuff I get wrong. I have to correct here. Hey, we might get the L going by here again. I hear some rumblings going on here. Yeah, there's the Harmony sculpture, the moose blowing the bubble, the suffragettes over there, all the Chicago women associated with the women's suffragette movement. Here's the, hey, it's an orange line coming in from Midway there. There's DePaul University and Roosevelt University has housing over there. Look how nice that looks. Oh, the L. Built in 1900, renovated in 1986. Thanks for the information there. Thanks for looking that up the way I roll. I appreciate it. That helps out a lot. Oh, it's squeaking. And I saw the Metro trains were burning their switches when we got below zero, and I didn't see the L trains doing it. Sometimes they do it for the L, but we went by the switches last night and they were not on fire. But the Metro switches were on fire. They do that to keep them from freezing, so they can still switch trains when it gets really cold, because they have a tendency to seize up when it gets really cold if they don't heat them up. And so it's always interesting wintertime to see the tracks on fire and the trains go right over top of it, the flames. But it's all under control. They know what they're doing. It's the old system. Yeah, the big screen L, isn't that nice? That look good on the TV there? That's what we do to get some 720p footage of the elevated trains here in Chicago. It looks nice with the blue skies. So if you just joined, we're heading north on Wabash. We were here further up yesterday, so maybe I'll cut back over. We'll film the Route 66 sign. We'll pop back out there at the Art Institute, film the lions from across. Here, Julian Assange. Remember Julian Assange? Don't extradite Assange. U.S. government. Yeah, okay. I have no idea what that is. Here's the here you go, Chris. There's the Roosevelt University. There's the tower there, designed by Louis Sullivan. Here comes the L coming by. Look at this. So I need to do a whole day. I'll do the tour sometime, and we'll go inside the auditorium building. That's still on my list there. I haven't got to it yet. Here, we'll cross the street. I'm just filming the Green Line heading south here. Wabash Avenue crossing Ida B. Wells. 15 degrees. Look, we got shorts. Look how warm it is. The guy's got shorts. The weather's fine. Look at this. Yeah. How you doing? Weather's good. Look how dirty this bus is. So this is what happens in wintertime. It's what happens to your bus when you gotta travel on the interstates with the slush. Hey, good. Elena, I'm glad it's working out there. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, we got 50 people. That's pretty good for January. And most people, there's usually several hundred people that watch the reruns after I post it. So not everybody can watch it live, and I get that. And people got on, some people are working or different time zones. That's why we do it. Thanks for being a nice YouTube audience, looking stuff up for me and filling in the gaps there. Well, look at this. This is a nice, interesting building here. Just notice little details. You know, that's why I don't notice. I probably walked by this building 100 times and didn't stop to like pay attention to the facade. And look at that little Juliet balconies they got up there. Nice terracotta tiling. Little cornice, little detailing. Just this little. This building is no more than 20 feet wide. 20 feet wide. It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories. You know, it's 4 times as tall as it is wide. And look how far back it goes. And here's some of the murals here for Columbia College. We're on Wabash. We're Van Buren. Chris and I were talking about the old Peter Gunn theme. Peter Gunn was there was a TV sitcom. I guess it was like a murder mystery thing or something on the old black and white TVs, and that's where the Peter Gunn theme that was used in the Blues Brothers that I use for the CTA trains there. It's the classic blues riff there. And yeah, in the Blues Brothers, Van Buren Street under the L, that's where in the beginning of the movie, Elwood's living in a single room occupancy, male only hotel, where it's real narrow, and he's right by the L, and he sits in the window, and the L goes by, and then, you know, Princess Leia blows up the building because she's trying to get back at Jake for double crossing her when he went to jail. And that was filmed over there. The building's gone. That's why I was joking that Princess Leia really did blow up the building. But, you know, the classic scene in the Blues Brother where Jake, Elwood's sitting in the window there, and the L train's going back and forth, and he's cooking a piece of toast on a little electric grill. Classic single ring occupancies that used to exist all around the loop here. You know, it's like there's still, you can find some up on Clark Street, the Covent Hotel. They just rehabbed that, so we probably lost that too. Craig Stevens was Peter Gunn. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for the good info there. Yeah, Chris says, I guess they got the whole, there was only 2 seasons of it. I think it was like in the early 60s, like 60, 61. Is that when that came out? And you can get the whole series on Amazon Prime. If you're on Amazon Prime, you could look it up. You can watch the reruns there. I think it didn't last that long, but Peter Gunn, thanks. Craig Stevens, that's good. Thanks for the May. Yeah, May, please look up Louis Sullivan. Louis Sullivan, a significant architect in Chicago. He was kind of overlooked in his lifetime, but Frank Lloyd Wright was influenced by him. Frank Lloyd Wright worked for Louis Sullivan as an apprentice, and there's some buildings they collaborated on, which I point out. And Louis Sullivan is amazing detailing. There's some stylish women there. It's great. And oh man, the wind's picking up. But so if you just joined, we're in Chicago, going by some DePaul University buildings here. We're at 243 South Wabash, which is Jackson Street, I think, across this Wabash. So we're heading north on Wabash, heading back towards work here. 3 seasons. Okay, 3 seasons. Thanks, Chris. 38 episodes. 38 episodes. Oh, that's a lot of episodes. So over 100 episodes of Peter Gunn sitcom. You can find it on Amazon Prime there. And I'm sure there's other places you can find it too. You don't have to go through Jeff Bezos, but that's probably the most convenient thing. They probably bought it up and bought the rights. Hey, we go underneath the Miller's Pub. Miller's Pub's across the way there. Here's the Adams and Wabash station here. Late bird's $21 to park here. Right behind the Symphony Center. We're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God. You're right, Michael. Thanks for that. Yeah. They went down to the church down there at 91st and Commercial in Southeast Chicago, and James Brown was the preacher. He says, "Do you see the light?" And they said, "Yeah." He started flipping around. "We got to get the band back together." That's great. Yeah. Here, look at this little park here. They got a restaurant here. This is behind the Symphony. So if you go to Symphony, you can check out this restaurant and look at the beautiful L trade. So since we were just here yesterday, I'll go back to Michigan Avenue. We'll walk up Michigan Avenue. We'll show the, here comes the L. So we'll get the L train. Here comes the green line pulling into the Adams and Wabash station here. It's kind of hard to see with the sun. And look at that snow. There's some snow right there. Hey, we're skiing. There's the Art Institute. If I can maintain my connection, we'll go. There's the Route 66 historical signage is right here, and we'll film the Art Institute with the Lions. How's it going? What's that? Oh, I don't know. I'm a live streamer. You have to pay? I think you got to pay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. That's not my car. I don't know. I don't know. You're asking if you need to pay? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Do you have to pay? I don't know when people. I'm amazed somebody will ask just someone walking down the street whether I don't want his car to be towed. If I say it's okay, it doesn't mean it's okay. You know. I think he thought I was like a police officer or something because I'm live streaming and I'm wearing a blue coat. I'm not. Here's Kong Dog. Heck, somebody. That was. Look. Is that a bullet hole? No, it's just a rock. That's just a rock that got that. It's not a bullet hole. Kong Dog. So here's the Art Institute of Chicago. And all kinds of things happen when you're live streaming. All kinds of things that you never expect to happen. You know, somebody panhandle, they'll come up to you and they're like, they see you live streaming and they're like, "Oh, this person's fresh meat. He's going to give me some money." Somebody, there used to be a Route 66 sign there. Somebody stole it. So it happens often that people steal the Route 66 signs. So here, we'll cross here. We're in front of the Art Institute of Chicago. There's the Lions. And we were just here. Here's the Begin Historic Route 66 sign. And you see why they put it up way high. People climbed up the pole to put their sticker up there. There's the Begin Historic Route 66 here, all these stickers. It aligns with Sears Tower. This is Adams Street. Route 66 goes over to Ogden Avenue, makes a left. If you go to Ogden, there's Route 66 signs on Ogden Avenue as it goes through the southeast side of Chicago. And right across from the Art Institute, this is where Route 66 begins. So you can get your kicks on Route 66 and start in Chicago and try to follow the whole route. Yeah, greetings. I know, Chris. Has that happened to you, Chris? Like, you'll be walking. Like, I'll be like in Texas, and someone would come up to me in Austin. They were like, "Can I park here?" I'm like, "I'm just a guy walking down the street. If I say you could," she saw somebody she knew. That's good. I mean, just because I say it's okay doesn't mean you're not going to get a ticket. You know, I don't know. I don't live here. You know, same with that guy. He was asking me if he could park there. I'm like, I don't know. It's your car. You're taking the risk. I'm not. I'm just walking down the street because I'm live streaming. Like, I'm supposed to know if you can park there or not. I don't know. And, you know, if I give him the right answer and it's wrong, is he going to go hunt me down? You told me wrong. Why'd you ask me? I don't know. You know, look it up. Here's the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. We're heading up Michigan Avenue. Happy Screams, yeah. That was nice. Yeah, I saw somebody she knew right there on Michigan Avenue. Here's the Monroe building. Look at that beautiful detailing above the door. Pritzker Military Library's right there. It's got the angle top. That's beautiful. I think that's Rookwood tile on the ceiling. I filmed that before. Every time I go in there, the security really sizes me up because the Pritzker Military Museum's in there, and I'm sure they get a bunch of interesting people that go in the Pritzker Military Museum. There's the L going by. Hey, both directions. We got an eclipse there. That's nice. How's it going? How you doing? Hey, thank you. Thanks for doing it. That's great. Yeah, Google it. You got it. That's why I tell people. I'm like, either I got to look it up or you look it up. So they see, he saw I had a phone. So he wants to interrupt my live stream and make me use my phone to Google it when he's got a phone in his pocket. That's it. Just that's why, now you understand why people in New York City are so abrupt, because they get asked stupid questions all the time, like, where's the Statue of Liberty? Like, people will be like, where's Central Park? Find it on your own. So these buildings were designed by Louis Sullivan too. The Gage and then these other two buildings, they used to be haberdasheries. They used to be hat companies. And I used to have a TikTok on it on my original account, which TikTok deleted. So, but there's the Gage. There's a bar named after it. And we're right here on Michigan Avenue, heading back to work here. Thanks for tuning in. I look like I have a wealth of information. You know, if Rick Steves is walking around Chicago, people will ask Rick Steves, hey, can I park here? You know, when he's got like the live camera crew and, you know, just jump in front of the camera and, hey, can I park here? Okay, good. Chicago Athletic Association. I would love to film the inside of that. I'll find a way to smuggle some footage out there. If I go inside there and sit up in the lobby and then I start recording and walk out, they won't even notice. But if I walk in there, the security sees me at the front desk, and you know, they've had all kinds of interesting protest activity on Michigan Avenue, so they're very sensitive to cameras. But hey, there we go. We missed the bus. So here we're waiting for the listen to those tires. That sounds weird. But there's where we started, so we went full circle here. We're waiting to cross the street here to see if there's a last van here turning here. There we go. We got the yellow light. There's the Prudential Building, Aon Building, Raising Cane's, Michigan Avenue. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was useful in some way. I'm glad thanks for looking up Cole, that statue. We did the philanthropist for the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Now I know what that statue is, so the next time we go down there, I'll try to remember that and file it away. There's the Great Bean of Chicago. Look how nice it looks, nice in the sun there. Got the St. Regis there on the left, Millennium Park. There were people ice skating. I don't know if they cleared people out. No, there's still some people ice skating there. So it's warm enough to ice skate, 15 degrees. There, the Illinois State Medical Society, Mutual Insurance Company, Remington's, classic American Grill right here on Michigan Avenue. You can get down to the parking. This goes down to the Millennium Parking Garage underneath Millennium Park there. You go down to parking right there. And then your car, you could enter right in the center there. So now we're back at the Cultural Center. We'll, which way should we go here? We'll see if we cross the street. Here's the Walgreens. Nice building here. Here, we'll cross the street here. How you going? We'll cross Michigan Avenue. So here's how you can enter the parking garages right here. And we went down there yesterday. We were down in that parking garage before I lost my feed. Here, we're back at the ice skating rink here. The Great Bean. There's the 26 bus, Michigan Avenue. I think I've showed you this map before. There's a really nice map of Millennium Park right here that we always walk through. See how there's the Bean. We walk around and go across that snaky bridge, and there's the ice skating room in Maggie Daly Park. And so nice. It feels, as long as you're not in the wind, it feels noticeably warmer today than earlier this week. And And hopefully it'll continue. I think the worst of the cold snap's over. So I'll try to film that basement bar. It'll happen Thursday or Friday night probably. And if you miss it, I'll cut out the reruns because I think a lot of people will be interested in that. A lot of people watch the rerun of the Green Door. That was the second rerun of the Green Door. The first one, I must not have did a good job. The second one, people seem to like the way I set it up the second time. So then we'll do a third one. We'll see if we can strike gold 3 times. The information booth on the movie Airplane. There you go. Yeah. What's the fastest land animal? There was so many. And could they even make that movie today? You know, it's like we could laugh at ourselves more in the 70s, and now people would be all offended. But it's funny. It's funny. That movie's funny. It's intended to be a bunch of double entendres and risky humor, but it's funny. You know, and I wish we could get back to that in America. It's hard. You know, I know I run the risk of it too, you know, sounding like a snowflake liberal, you know, jumping on people for, you know, it's hard, you know, we live in such a, but yeah, the Airplane, all those great classic movies, even like Blazing Saddles. Could they make Blazing Saddles today? I don't know. Mel Brooks, all the great Mel Brooks movies, The History of the World Part 1, you know, could they make that movie today? I don't know, you know, it's the world has changed, and I don't know if that's a good thing, but we call it progress, right? There's Michigan Avenue. Look at that beautiful scene there, looking up to the Wrigley building. Nice sun hitting it. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. Let's frame this. There, look at that. Look at that great view looking up Michigan Avenue. So I'll walk past this block. We'll go past Garrett's Popcorn and Nando's and Nutella and all that stuff, and then I'll sign off. Thanks everybody for tuning in on our nice little lunch walk here. And sock it to me, sock it to me. He's turning right. Here's my voice. He's like, who's yelling back there? Airplanes. Leslie Nielsen. Naked Gun, 33 1/3. Oh man. There's the Garrett's Popcorn. Let me zoom out a little bit here. There we go, lids. Garrett's Popcorn shops were open. Not a line or nothing. Stan's Donuts, Bubblicious, Five Guys. You got the American Writers Museum over there. Hey, the liquid water. There's drips of water. The Doral building's notorious for dripping. It drips. It was worse, but it still drifts. So maybe you got to watch out for falling ice as we start to come out of the deep freeze here. That's a nice coat. Here's Nutella, the great Nutella door there. You go through the Nutella jar to get to Nutellas. And then there's the Nando's. There's many Nando's all throughout. People sitting in there. But we'll wrap this up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll start posting reruns of the Pedway. I posted one, but I got to post more. And thanks for tuning in, both on TikTok, YouTube. Hope you have a good rest of the Wednesday. Enjoy this warm weather. And we'll catch you later. Yeah, I'll carry you back. I'll carry you back. See you, Sharon. See you the way I roll. Lisa, thanks for being on. Chris, Michael, everybody else all the way back. Cole, thanks for the good information. Paul, we'll talk to you later here. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Watch City Walking Girl's probably still walking on TikTok, so check her out there. Talk to you later. Have a great day, everybody.